Welcome to the final chapter of Math 7. Today we're going to be going over Chapter 12, Section 1, Circles and Circumference. So just as a refresher, a circle is this shape over here. There are absolutely no straight edges, and it's the same length from the center, so I'm going to make a little point here where the center is, like right in the middle. So it's the same distance from the center to the edge everywhere around that entire shape. The diameter is all the way across the circle, and the radius is from the center to one edge. The diameter must cross through the center. So side to side. The radius is the center to the side. When I think about it, the letters D and R, D is taller right here than R is, so D goes all the way across. Now what the circumference is it's the distance around the circle. So kind of like its perimeter. If you built a fence around the circle, this is what that distance would be. The circumference formula, oops, I missed something over here. We've got pi. And what pi is it looks like this right here. You guys know that I like pi. Pi is the number, what we round to is 3.14. It continues on and on and on and on forever, but when it comes to calculating using pi, we're just going to have you round to 3.14. So the circumference formula is the circumference equals pi d. So it's pi times the diameter, so 3.14 times the diameter. So in this case here, what is the circumference of the circle and round to the nearest tenth? Our diameter is 3 inches. So our circumference equals pi times 3, because we're going to replace our diameter with what it is, 3. I can use pi as 3.14 times the diameter of 3, and our circumference is 9.42 inches. Down here, our diameter is 3.75. We just plug it into our formula. Pi times 3.75. So I'm typing into my calculator here, 3.14 times 3.75. Oops, and I typed it in wrong. And I end up with 11.775. And my label is just feet. And finally, a diameter of 5.1. Pi times 5.1. So 3.14 times 5.1 to get 16.014, and millimeters is my label. Now it wants us to find the circumference of the circle and round to the nearest tenth. But we're not given a diameter. But what we do know is our radius is half of the diameter. So the radius times 2 times pi, right? Because the radius times 2 is the same thing as the diameter. Or you'll often see 2 pi r. So all we have to do is we have 2 times our pi of 3.14 times our radius of 5.3. Sorry, I think I said diameter earlier, but I meant radius. So 2 times 3.14 times 5.3, because when we multiply that whole thing by 2, that's when we have the radius in there. And that equals 33.284 centimeters. Here we have a radius of 7 millimeters. So we're going to use our 2 pi r, or 2 times 3.14, because that's what stands for pi, times the radius of 7. So you get us 2 times 3.14 times 7, 43.96, and our label is millimeters. Down here in this word problem, it says Bernard works at a community center that has a circular swimming pool with a circumference of 40 meters. So I'm going to draw a picture. It's a circular pool, and all the way around it is 40 meters. He would like to use a rope to divide the pool down the center. Okay, what should be the length of the rope? So the length of the rope is going to stand for what? It goes from one side to the other through the center. Oh, that's our diameter. We know our circumference equals 40. So what am I going to do to figure out this diameter? What has both our circumference and the diameter in it? Oh, our circumference formula, C equals pi times d. Or in this case, we're going to end up with, I'm going to erase over here so I have some space, 40, because that's what our circumference is, equals 3.14, because that's what pi is, times d. In order to get pi all by itself, we have this 3.14 times d. Sorry, in order to get d all by itself, we have to divide by what's attached to it. So we're going to divide by 3.14. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So 40 divided by 3.14 is 12.738853, so I'm going to go 739, round it up, equals, those cancel out, d. So our diameter is 12.739, and that also stands for the length of the rope. So we need 12.74 meters of rope in order for it to string from one side onto the other. Okay, those are your examples and for 12.1.